Hello and good afternoon. Thank you for joining me on day 15 of my 30-day Yoga for Runners video challenge. I'm Erica Hall of Yoga for Runners and a Runner's Circle. That's yogaforrunners.net and a runnercircle.com. And today I'm going to be showing you 3 quad stretches as well as a couple modifications for each of them. And we all know as runners that our quads can get pretty tight sometimes. So I'm going to show you my 3 favorite exercises to do for them. So the first one is half hero pose. I should tell you today though, I will be using a block, a strap, which I have put a loop into, a blanket, a mat, and this wall to get into these stretches. You don't need to have a mat, but I definitely recommend that you have a blanket and a wall. If you don't have a block, then you can use a book. Really big old dictionaries work pretty well. If you don't have one of those handy, just a blanket or a blanket or a towel that you can roll up will also be helpful. So first one, half hero pose. I'm going to take my block, I'm going to put it between my legs, and I'm going to sit my derriere on it. So the easiest way to start is in this position. And then I'm just going to lean to the left, and I'm going to take my right foot out in front of me. So my foot is flat on the ground, my knee is over my ankle, my left foot is to the side of my hip, so I can look down and see my heel. From here, I'm just going to bring my hands behind my back, and I'm going to lift my hips up off the mat. You might be feeling your quad here already. If you haven't already, lengthen your tailbone towards your bent knee, so the tailbone moves in the direction of the left knee. Keep lifting the chest up, and you should have felt the head of the thigh open up when you lengthen your tailbone. So you can stay here if you'd like, or you can start to lower the hips back down onto the block. Either way, you're going to get a really good stretch. Lowering your hips down allows it to be a little easier. Your legs aren't straining as much, so your thigh can actually open up. Now, the thigh muscle generally tends to want to rotate inward. What I want you to do is I want you to think about rotating it to the side, not with your hands, but with your mind. So it's this isometric movement, and you're really going to feel a difference there. So just continue to breathe into this stretch. You can stay here as long as you want by pausing it. Otherwise, you're going to walk your hands towards your hips, and we're going to switch sides. For me, the easiest way to do that is just to shift my weight towards the right, sweep the left foot around, and then tuck the right one behind me, adjusting myself on the block as I need to. Again, I look down, I can see my right heel, my left ankle is underneath my knee, and I'm going to reach back, my hands back, roll the shoulders away, and then start to lift the hips up, lengthening my tailbone towards my right knee, feeling the head of the quad open on up. Again, I'm going to rotate the thigh out to the side isometrically just by thinking about it. And so I want you to connect your breath to your stretching here, and just noticing the sensations that you're feeling depending on where your muscle is moving in which direction. Keep pressing those hips up and lengthening through the tailbone. Again, you continue this stretch if you'd like by pausing it. Otherwise, we're just going to lower the hips down, walk the hands back towards us, lean to the side, lift the hips up, and remove the block. But we're going to put it by our sides and move on to the next stretch, which I'm going to use a strap for to show you the modification first. As runners, in particular guys, we happen to have very tight hamstrings, and if you don't use the strap, you're more likely to get a cramp in the back of the leg. So that's one of the reasons why I like to use the strap and show it that way. I put a loop into my strap. If you don't have a strap and you have a towel and a resistance band, that's fine. You can just create your own loop here. So I'm going to slide the loop over the top of my left foot, and I'm going to cross the strap over my left shoulder. I'm going to take my right foot and bring it out in front of me. I'm actually going to readjust and move back more to make sure I'm here. So strap is over the shoulder. and walking the right foot forward, and I have a block here in case I need or want it. So I'm start to pull the heel towards my glute. Notice I have an angle on my left leg here. It's not a 90-degree angle. This is more of a 45-degree angle here. And I'm going to press my hips forward, but keep pulling the strap towards me and pressing the top of the foot into the strap. It's that pressing away with the top of the foot that's going to help open the quad here. Again, you can hold on to a block if you need to for your balance. You can stay here as long as you like by pressing pause. Otherwise, we're going to release the strap down and then release it from the foot. To go into a fuller version of the pose, we're going to bring the left hand to the inside of the right foot. We're going to bend the left knee and reach our right hand behind us and grab a hold of the foot. It helps to bring the hips back towards the foot to grab it, and then we're going to press our hips forward. Again, this can be quite sensational, so your face might be doing all sorts of things. And you can either stay here, or if your body allows, you can come into a gentle twist by opening your chest towards your thigh and pulling that foot towards you, but continue to press the top of the foot into the hand. Breathing here for 3, 2, 1. You can continue by pausing it or gently release your hands down. Step your right foot back so you're on both knees, and now we're going to step that left foot forward. Grab a hold of your strap, and we're going to put the loop or the strap on the back of the foot. That strap comes over the right shoulder, and have your block handy for your balance if you need it. Again, make sure your left knee is over your ankle. You're just going to start to pull the strap over your shoulder. The foot comes towards, the heel comes towards your glute. You're going to start to press your hips forward as you press the top of the foot into the strap. You can see I'm pressing away here. You can grab a hold of the strap with both hands or hold your balance here. The more you press your hips forward, the more the stretch you're going to get. Relax the shoulders down and breathe into it here. Great. So you can continue stretching by pressing pause. Otherwise, we're just going to release that strap down and take it off of our foot. From here, you can bring your right hand to the inside of the left foot. Bend the right knee, shift your hips back to grab a hold of the top of the foot, and start to press your right hip forward. Holding on to the top of the foot wherever you can. See if you can open the chest, rolling the shoulder away from the ear. Notice that that left thigh likes to fall out to the side because it's easier, and see if you can bring it back in towards the rib cage as you continue to press that right hip towards the ground. Again, this is very sensational, so don't worry if you can't do it, and that's why using the strap is a great alternative. So we're here for 3, 2, 1. If you want to stay longer, you can pause it. Otherwise, release the foot down, release both hands down, and step the left foot back so you're on both hands and knees. And you can take a child's pose by bringing your heels to your hips to your heels, and relaxing your head down. And stay there for a couple breaths and walk your hands back towards you. And I'm going to show you King Arthur. So King Arthur, I'm going to be using the wall and a blanket. So the easiest way that I find to come into it is to come onto my hands and knees and then walk my knees to the edge of the wall. So my feet are up on the wall. So starting here, then I'm going to step my right foot forward. I'm going to grab a hold of my block and have it nearby. So again, my right knee is over my ankle and I have the block here. You can start with your hands on your thighs, relaxing the shoulder down, and begin to press your hips forward as you press the top of the foot into the wall, and that's going to start to open up the head of the quad. So breathe here, find your breath. Again, a very sensational pose. Quad stretches are intense. So if this is too intense, you can bring your hands down to a block, and that will help lighten the intensity. And you can bring it down to a lower level, or you can bring it down to the ground. Explore what feels right for you and for the intensity. So continue holding it here, pressing the top of the foot into the wall as the hips move forward for 3, 2, 1. Pause it if you'd like to stay. Otherwise, we're going to bring our hands down to the ground. Step that right knee back towards the wall. Top of the foot comes to the wall. And then the left foot steps forward. Walk it, do whatever you got to do to get it there. And grab a hold of your block. And if you can, bring yourself up to your thigh. Hands rest here, relax the shoulders down, and now start to press the top of the foot into the wall as you press your hips forward. Again, checking to make sure your knee is over your ankle. Breathing here, and if you start to make faces, that's quite all right. Most people usually do in this pose. Again, you can stay here with your hands on your thighs. You can bring your hands to your block. If you have 2 blocks is a great way to balance. And you can lower and adjust any way that you need to in order to find your edge, to find what is actually available for you today in this stretch. Continue to breathe. Again, noticing if that knee goes out to the side and bring it back in towards the rib cage. Continue to press the hips forward for 3, 2, 1. Pause it if you would like to stay. Otherwise, you're going to release your hands down to the ground, step the left knee back, walk the right knee forward, and come down into a seated position. You can take your toes together, knees wide, and press the hips back, coming into child's pose. Getting a nice stretch in the hips, the upper back, in this nice restorative pose. So you can stay in child's pose and enjoy there, or you can press yourself back. But I want to thank you for joining me on day 15 for quad stretches. Tomorrow on day 16, I'm going to be showing you stretches to work the gluteus medius, which is attached to the IT band and can be one of the causes of IT band syndrome. So strengthening the gluteus medius, which is a muscle that is not run specific, will really help strengthen the connection between the IT bands. So stick around for those, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye.